So if everyone would just say okay on your screen or your pad or whatever you're looking at, that it's okay that we're recording this.
That is okay.
All right. So welcome everyone to Burge's Power Hour. Oh my goodness, it's August 2021. Goodness gracious. And today is going to be all about passion. Wow. So the reason why I chose passion as our topic today was we are doing our passionate manifestation graduate level course of Essence of Being this weekend. Yay! We're actually going to be in person having an actual experience. It's amazing. And the graduate level workshop is for all of you Essence of Being graduates out there. And it's all about finding your passion and manifesting. And we opened up a vortex of receiving. So tonight I thought I would do that for all of you. I thought, since we're doing it this weekend, let's be on a roll and let's all get into our passion. Okay. Everybody just throw off your clothes. Just kidding. Or not. Because a lot of times people look at passion and they think about passion as this love kind of passion thing, right? It can mean a lot of different things. So I'd like for all of you to, if you would, just mute yourself if you've got background noise so we don't hear you talking about things, and get a pencil and a paper out. Tonight is going to be pretty, we're going to do, it's going to be an actual class. So if you're just here to kind of like hang out, that's great. You're going to get the recording. Anybody who registered, you will get your recording in your email so that you can go back and do this if you're driving or something else, if you can't get everything written down right now. But if you can, go ahead and get something to write with. So you'll be prepared, because we're going to do a little bit of cool stuff. As you know, those of you who have been with me forever, love to do experiential things. Those of you who have never experienced our power hours or any of the workshops that I've been doing for almost 40 years, God, I'm old. So I like to make fun and have fun and be light, okay? Because it's all about play. That's what our passion is. So that's part of what I would like to bring to this experience with all of us tonight. And you can share some things. I'm going to ask you to certainly share anything so that we can maybe dive deeper in with you. Or a lot of times when you say things or bring up things, other people feel the same way. And you basically will be supporting everyone else as well as yourself if you ask questions or you participate in any way. So I encourage that. Okay. So it's not just a talking head. There's Mercedes. I see your pretty face. All right. Awesome. And I see a cat called Wolf. All right. And Rob, welcome. And I see a Bland 2845. Don't know who that is, but I guess you're Bland. Hey, Wolf.
Me?
All right.
I'm not a cat.
No, you're not a cat. So I think some of you are coming to Passionate Manifestation this weekend. So I'm looking forward to playing with you in a really big way. So any questions before I start in, and let's start playing together? Any questions anybody has?
2 or 3.
Okay. So Rob, go ahead and mute yourself, hon, please. Okay. All right. So I've never done this before I've been doing power hours every month since October 2014, every single month. And I've never pulled a card. I had my bubble talk with Burgess on my Facebook all the time that I would do around the world and pull these cards. But I thought tonight, I don't know why, but since we're using Zoom now instead of my calls, I felt like it would be an important experience just to set our intention for all of us that are coming together tonight. Is that all right? So these cards are infused with magic. They are infused with they're oracle cards or intentional cards. They basically give you a message. And so all of us together as a group, I'm going to pull one and see what it comes up with. Okay, interesting. So this one says, which you can't see probably because it says, if trust is down, your drama is up. So I don't know why I pulled that one for all of us, but maybe you do, and it'll make sense for you. If your trust level is down, how many have a trust level that's down? You could either raise your hand in either silently or not at all. Then that means that your drama level is up. So you've created a zero-sum game. That's what we call it. When your trust level is down and your drama is up, you could be in a zero-sum game where nobody wins. Keep drama out of your relationships and your business. So if anybody is having drama right now, I know that there's a lot of drama going on in the world right now, and people are tapping into that. They're tapping into the drama and the chaos and the upset and the anxiety and all the things that could be happening, the isolation and fear, all that stuff could be, you could be tapping into a lot of that. And so some people's trust might be down. It might be a macrocosm or a microcosm. You could be having trust things happening within your own household with your jobs or relationships or bosses or people or yourself, trusting yourself. And then the drama goes up. And what I call drama is basically all that stuff that you don't like, the contrast in the world. Okay. So just kind of notice, and maybe that's what we'll tap into a little bit with our passion tonight, because passion is all about letting go and trusting. So for some of us, that might be a little difficult at times. Would you agree?
Okay.
Nodding and nodding, yes. Hey, Donna Rita. See you're.
Hey, Rach.
Hey, glad you're on, honey. All right. So
Me too.
yeah.
Hi, everybody.
So what I'd like to do is, first of all, give you a definition of passion. And this can be, you can take this on if you like or not. But this is one definition of passion: an uncontrollable, unique vibration or awareness to feel who you are and express it comprehensively. I'll say it again: an uncontrollable, unique vibration or an awareness to feel who you are and express it comprehensively. Now, I'm saying comprehensively, and that comes from Buckminster Fuller, which is one of our, a lot of the philosophies that we use in a lot of our workshops and things that we do together. But what I mean by comprehensively, it is basically including, it's significant, okay? It's a significant intention. It's intelligible. So you're comprehensively expressing who you are. Because can some of you feel passion inside, but you don't express it? Yeah. So part of the challenge for many of us can be, hi, Cynthia. Part of the challenge can be, how do I express this? And am I going to get judged? You know, what keeps us from expressing who we are with our passion? And like I said, I started working on this call for tonight, and I'm merging it in with our, like I said, the reason I'm doing it is because we are creating passion this weekend with our graduate level class, Passionate Manifestation. But I thought, I wonder how this really plays into purpose and passion, because I know a couple of months ago we talked about purpose. If those of you who have joined me or listened to our blogs or listened to the podcasts, you can go on to essenceofbeing.com and see all the different podcasts, and you can get on iTunes and look up Essence of Being and subscribe there. But a couple of months ago we did purpose. So I was like, wow, you know, passion and purpose kind of feel similar. And for some people, maybe passion is fleeting and they don't understand how to express it necessarily. They may feel it, or maybe you haven't felt it in a while. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in and maybe perhaps get some awareness and feel what are your values and what are you passionate about and how do you express that and what's keeping you from doing that. Does that sound good? Yes, Gail.
I just want to ask you to clarify the last word of that sentence. Did you say comprehensively, as in widely and in its entirety, or comprehensibly, like in order to be received and understood by others?
That's it. That's the one. Comprehensively.
Thank you.
Received and understood, a significant understanding of others. Because again, many of us may feel passionate, but it's a secret. And it's not understood by others. So I knew you were going to ask that, Gail, because you are the wordsmith of our community, and you're excellent at that. So great question. So yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And I see a lot of people on their phones. Welcome all of you who don't have names there, but well, I'm glad you're here, and definitely get a pen and paper out. And again, all of you will get these this recording so that you can go back and do this if you've missed anything. It's also, to me, passion might be life force. So ask yourself, how many am I cutting off my life force, my creative energy? That burning power in your belly. You ever feel that kind of feeling in your belly or in your gut that just kind of vibrates? And that could be your kundalini or your life force moving through you. And for some of you, if you cut off some of those opportunities to feel, because you don't want to feel the quote bad things, you could be cutting off your feeling of passion. Because passion really is, another definition could be, for me, it's high desire and low resistance. Meaning that I have a high desire and I have no resistance to feeling it or to experiencing it. Okay? Does that make sense? So those of you, you want to go ahead and mute yourself if you've got background noise, because I can hear you, okay? Because I want to keep you on so you can unmute yourself, because we are going to talk quite a bit. So I'm going to give you an acronym for passion. So you can write it down on your piece of paper, PASSION, and I write it down vertically. And then across horizontally, we're going to put the words. So that's the acronym for passion. So I came up with this afternoon. I kind of downloaded this because we don't talk about this in the class. So P stands for powerful play. Power meaning you put energy into it. You put energy into play. And for some of us, play, again, is elusive. We forget about play. Why play? What's the outcome of play? Well, there is no outcome. It's sort of like, why go on a vacation? You'll just come back to the same place you're at, right? So why go? It's that journey. So play can be limitless. It can give you a limitless freedom kind of experience. Okay. And you put passion, you put power to it, and that puts energy to it. So that's what the P can stand for in passion. The A can stand for awareness and allowing. So if you're aware of what your passion is, then you get to choose if you're going to express it or not. So becoming aware of it, which is what we're going to do tonight. We're going to maybe help you find what your passion is again, or just redefine or support you in it, and allow it. Give yourself permission to feel it. Trust and allow, and don't ask how. I know all of you are saying that, those of you who are graduates, you know, I drill that into our heads, don't I? Trust and allow, and don't ask how. Okay, the S can, and the S stands for, one of the S's stands for surrender. Surrender, Dorothy. You remember in The Wizard of Oz? So surrender for some people is a negative connotation, okay? I'm talking about surrender in that you become vulnerable. My strength lies in my vulnerability. That also is one of the sayings we do in Essence of Being and Experience, which doesn't make any sense logically. My strength lies in my vulnerability. What does that mean? But the more vulnerable you become, the more you can open up and surrender and let go of the fear. Because to me, surrender means I'm allowing myself to let go of my fear that's stopping me from expressing who I am and expressing it comprehensively, as Gail pointed out again, what it means, right? So that's one S. The other S, in order for you to feel like you can surrender, you have to feel what? What's the other S word, do you think? Safe.
Safe.
Right. So feeling safe. Now, how do you feel safe? Is that a good question? Okay. Well, first of all, you have to have the intention of that all is well. Trust and allow and don't ask how, and trust your intuition, because your intuition is always right. Feeling safe can be it's very personal. And in order for you to really express and feel your passion about life in general and just who you are, without judgment, because I feel like some of you might fear being judged. You might fear being persecuted or told you're silly or something like that keeps you from really expressing your passion. And my sense is that all of you have it and you do express it, but maybe you're not even aware when you are doing it. And maybe some of you know exactly when you're expressing it. All right. But feeling safe is, to me, a key element in feeling passion and being passionate. I stands for integrity. Now, what I mean by integrity is holding your shape. Integrity, allowing yourself to feel who you are without others influencing you, to pull you off your center, to hold your shape, the integrity of steel, that this is who I am. And others might try to pull you off your center and have you unbalanced. Okay. But you, as long as you can stand in your power, stand in your integrity, hold your shape, then all that plate spinning that goes on around you. And again, I'm showing my age. Ed Sullivan had plate spinners. I don't know if you remember, but anyway, this guy would run around and spin a lot of plates and keep all the plates spinning. So oftentimes when we're busy spinning plates and doing a million things, we forget sometimes we're being influenced to do all these things. And we forget about being centered and allowing our passion to come through, because maybe we're passionate about spinning plates. Maybe we are, but sometimes it's good just to stop for a sec and allow yourself to feel into your integrity and hold your shape and not be motivated to perhaps do things you don't want to do. Okay. The O stands for ownership. And what I mean by that is no one can take it from you. This is yours. It is your unique, uncontrollable vibration. Okay. So if you're trying to control your passion, then in this context and in this realm, it's not necessarily pure passion because you're trying to control it. Okay. In my world, it's an uncontrollable vibration and I own it. Nobody can take that from me. It's very unique to me. Does that make sense? N stands for neutral. Now, what I mean by neutral, my emotions are neutral, meaning that I'm not attached. I'm not attached to how I look, dance like no one's watching. I'm not attached to what anybody thinks. It's like I'm naked in the sun here. I don't care. And there's no force or effort. So it's neutral. There's no force or effort or resistance when you're in passion. So that's the acronym I have for you. Powerful play, awareness and allow, surrender, safe, integrity, ownership, and being neutral. Okay. So a couple months ago, we did a purpose. If those of you who were on that call or did that experience with me, I want to do this one little experience again because I think it's really important for you to find your passion as well in this. So on your piece of paper, and it might be the same, it might be different, okay? But on your piece of paper, I want you to divide it up into 3 columns. On the first column on the left, I want you to write do. In the middle, I want you to write have. And on the right, I want you to write be. Do, have, be. Okay. And again, you can go back and listen to this if you aren't writing anything right now. That's fine. Do, have, and be on your piece of paper. Now, I want you to jot down 3 things. 3 things that you love to do. Just jot them down. 3 things. 3 things I love to do. And just put that underneath the do column. And if you're driving right now, again, you can come back and listen to this later. Think about, what do you like to do? What do you love to do? And then the second column is have. What do you love to have? What do you want to have? Just jot 3 things down. What do you want to have? Or what do you love to have? I put friends, money, and time. You can take one of mine if you want. And then, of course, on that third row or column, what do you want to be? What do you love to be? I love to be happy. I love to be loved. So as you're jotting these down, here's a fun little thing to do with it, okay? And just notice if you can't write 3 things. But so this is the fun thing to do. You start with, you're going to make a sentence out of you're going to start with the be part first. And you're going to say, I feel. And you just put whatever the word is. I feel, like I put loved, okay? That's how I wanted to be. I love to be loved. So I'm going to say the sentence, I feel loved. And then you put the next word over, which is have. I feel loved and have friends, is what I put. And then on the do part, you put the word to do. So it makes a sentence like this. I feel loved and have friends to, and I put teach. That's what I love to do, is teach, clearly. So it's kind of a fun little exercise to do, to say, you start with the be part, go over to have, and then end it with do. And you put the word I feel something and have something to something. And it's really fascinating what people come up with as far as just their subconscious mind, because I love working in the subconscious here. And it may make sense and it may not. But before we go on with finding your purpose and your passion and the passion and feeling into this, Does anybody have anything they want to share with that? You have to unmute yourself. Okay. So I feel, I have, and have to whatever. So it's the do and the have and the be. Donna Raina, do you want to share something?
Yes, I feel happy and have a safe, beautiful vehicle to travel.
And that's
And
how it came out. That's awesome. I love it when it works like that.
Yeah,
The universe works like that. So this is also supporting you in really getting clarity about what you want to have, what you want to be, and what you want to do. So that your subconscious kind of takes over when you do it this way. Okay. So that's
Yeah.
powerful. Awesome. Thank you for that.
Thanks. And thank you, Burge.
You're welcome. That's awesome. Patrice, and then we'll move on to the next part. Go ahead, Patrice. You have to unmute.
Had to unmute. Okay. I feel happy when I have friends to sing with.
I love it.
It worked out great. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. And so happy singing and friends, that you can get passionate about that, right? All right. So your subconscious is leading you down this path. Okay. So whatever you wrote down, just know that if you can make it work out, and you can move them around if it doesn't make sense, but if it works out, then just know that that is, you're basically your inner knowing telling you something. Okay. Now we're going to go in and look at some of the core values that you have in order for you to feel passionate. And remember, passion is powerful play, awareness, allowing, surrender, safety, integrity, and owning it and being neutral, like not being attached to how this looks. Okay. So what I want you to do is this time, just write down 2 things. I'm going to give you 11 questions and you just jot down 2 things. And again, I knew tonight was going to be a little more experiential, a little more class type thing, but this is to help you dig into passion for yourself. Okay. I do different things different times, so it's not always like this. Okay. So here we go. So 2 things. How do you feel your space the most? So basically whatever you see around you is a very strong clue as to what you put in your space. So what do you fill up your space with the most? Just write down 2 things.
I thought about trying to make it smaller, but you know, when you're ordering stuff online, I thought I maybe should go 2 sizes smaller because that's 2 inches. Then I worried about.
Okay, the second one is, how do you spend your time the most? Write down 2 things. How do you spend your time the most? And I'll give you some hints if you're having trouble with this about some aspects that you can utilize in order to do this. Do you spend more time with relationships, career, business, jobs, friends, social, parents, kids, school, resting, vacation, play, meditating, contributing, doing massages, self-care? What do you spend your time the most? And just jot these down. It doesn't have to be an essay. The next one is, what energizes you the most? How do you spend your energy? Where do you feel energized? And I'll say those aspects again for you just to kind of jog your thought process. Relationships, love, career, job, business, friends, social, parents, kids, school, rest, vacation, play, meditations, contribution, massages, body work, exercise, self-care. Okay, what energizes you the most? The next one is, how do you spend your money the most? Jot down 2 things you spend your money on the most. Okay, and the next one is, what do you think about the most? What's your most dominant thoughts? What do you think about the most? Again, job, relationship, business, friends, social, parents, kids, school, vacation, play, contribution, self-care, rest.
Could you repeat the last phrase? Last question?
The last question is, what do you think about the most? What's your dominant thoughts? Just 1 or 2 things that you think about the most.
It's on.
And the next one is, what do you envision or visualize the most? In other words, what do you daydream the most when you're just envisioning things, visualizing? It could be daydreaming, something you're visualizing for yourself. What do you visualize the most? And the next one is, what do you talk to yourself about the most? What do you internally dialogue with yourself? Like, I should be doing this, or I should be doing that. Do you have internal dialogues? Why is that person thinking this? What's something that you think about internally? You start having questions for yourself. I should. Why aren't I? And the next one is, what do you externally dialogue about the most? Like, if you're in a social setting, what do you speak about the most socially? What do you find yourself saying to people the most? And again, if you're new to this, just know that sometimes I do this, sometimes I do other things, but we're kind of digging in a little deep here for your own experience of what passion is for you. What inspires you the most? That's the next one. What inspires you the most? Like, what are some things that inspire you? Chocolate. Good deeds, good vibrations, going to theater, getting on power hours with Burge, that inspires me. Helping a friend. And the last one is, what do you love to learn and read about the most? If you could read about anything or learn something, what would that be? What would make your juices flow to learn? Or read about? Now, again, if I went too fast, you can go back and really dive in a little more and kind of figure this out, or just allow it to come through. And this is stream of consciousness writing, where your subconscious is taking over. Okay. So look at what you wrote down. Whatever you wrote down, it's fine. Okay. Don't judge yourself one way or another. And so you want to pick out the answers. Like, you're probably going to have the same answer, okay, in several of these questions. So just pick out the answers. You just write down the answers. They just will come out like leadership or positive vibes or friendship or a lot of dancing, or, you know, you're going to have perhaps a topic for each one of these. And just notice if there's a pattern. If you wrote down something more than once, more than twice, see if there's a theme. And if you did write down the same things similarly, you can circle them. Did any of you have any kind of similar pattern? Or something that pops out at you that looks like it's keeps popping up or feels similar?
I did, Birch.
Okay.
I have a pattern around art and creativity and music and cats and mentoring.
Mentoring, art,
Mhm.
music, and cats.
Yes.
Okay. So that is an insight, honey, for passion. In other words, that's an insight for core values that you can look at, that you have a similar kind of flow in how you are passionate about life and what basically makes your juices flow. So cats, music, art, mentoring. These are aspects of you that is part of your life force that you can tap into to create more of that. It's that creative energy, like you said, which is your passion. and allowing more and more of that to come to the forefront. Those are really showing you your core values. And you can choose, for some of you, maybe you weren't clear on what are my core values or what is my passion. Maybe some of this can help support you in finding out what that is. I really love doing all of these things, and look at the patterns here. So, and just look at yourself. Do you allow yourself to do those things? Mentor, be with cats, play music, art, see art, play art, create art. So it's not meant to, have you feel shame or that I'm not doing those things. And it's not meant to, if you already knew that, that's great. That just means move toward that excitement, move toward that and more of that in your life, more passion. Because if you don't have passion, like I said, then sometimes people can slip into sitting right in the middle of settling. They go back and forth between frustration, content, and bored. As opposed to feeling outright passion, which is, again, powerful play, awareness, allowing, surrender, safety, integrity, ownership, and neutrality. Your life force, that blue flame in your belly. So thank you for sharing that, Wolf. And definitely whatever you wrote down and whatever kind of theme you can find, just understand that these values or these passions arise from that subconscious. And sometimes they're determined by perhaps your voids. It's like what you're missing, or what you perceive is missing. So maybe some of you wrote things down as like, I don't have any of that. I want it. And it's a perceived thing that you're missing it. Therefore, it's a void in your life. And therefore, it becomes what you perceive as most important. So in other words, sometimes our core values that we're passionate about could be based on core wounds. I'm saying wounds, woundedness, pain, things that we think we don't have, voids. Now, this does not mean if you've had a known core value for a long time that you're missing. You may not be missing it anymore. It just becomes part of your beingness over time. So that may not apply to you, but it could apply to you, and it could. So I'm just giving you different things of looking at what you wrote down. Is this something that these things that I wrote, are they voids in my life? Am I doing any of this stuff? Am I being any of this stuff? Do I have the courage to choose to do more of this and be more of this and have more of this? What's preventing me from doing this, for being this? What's getting in my way? So, for example, you might be seeking in your core values and in your passion, you might be seeking money if you perceive you're lacking in money, or you might want more health if you perceive your health is compromised, or you might want more relationships or some kind of a better relationship when you perceive you're without one. Or you might be seeking more purpose in your life when you feel purposeless. You might be seeking companions when you feel alone. Does that make sense? So what do you do with that? Anybody else want to share? Thank you, Wolf, for sharing yours. Anybody else want to share? Any ahas, awarenesses, or threads, or comments? Got a tight-lipped group tonight, huh? Okay. You know, I could talk forever. I just love listening to you guys too. So I can support you in finding your passion. But remember, anybody before I move on? Yes, Gail.
I can,
Hello.
mine was very much centered around connecting deeply with other people and exploring the sacred. So, and the word love kept coming up with, connecting with love, the sacred expression of love. So, which I think is pretty much where I am and what I do, but it became very clear that that's the circle. That's the center of the circle for me.
Perfect. And so now that you're aware of that again, and it's coming in the forefront, now you can say, okay, I choose all of the things that I present and do and be and have in my life comes from that core, comes from that passionate piece of who I am. And that's how I'm showing up in the world. And if it serves me, and if it serves others, and if it's feeding that passion, that I'm on purpose.
Yeah, and I think for me, it's really the help in discerning where am I cluttering the pipeline to that pure expression. So making choices to kind of not take in things that don't serve that intention.
Perfect. Excellent. Yes, that's the key. Discernment. Yes. And how to do that. Perfect. Someone else. Thank you, Gail. Someone else said something. I'll go. I think it was one of the.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, John Ann. Hello.
Hi, John
From,
Ann.
Portland, Oregon.
Hey,
Hey
Oregon.
there. It's been a
Oh,
while.
it's hot in Oregon.
It's actually cooled down about 40 degrees, but we've been definitely being challenged.
Yes.
So God bless you for being so consistent in this really practical, magnificent, enlightening work. My passion has been since an early time transformation of institutions. I'm going to be in Washington for the Voting Rights March on the 58th anniversary of the I Have a Dream speech. I thought I might get down toward Atlanta. I don't know yet whether I shall. And I've been talking to a really special sister who's a very deep, we've known each other for 50 years maybe, about who's had some upsets recently about fear and how fear is stalking the planet. COVID's one thing, depression of women again, and still and more is another thing. Unjust economics and systems, another thing, and it impacts all of us. So your power hours always have really practical stepping stones and reminders, and I just want to thank you.
My pleasure, honey, my purpose. And thank you for showing up in the world as a bright light. And you are living your vision and your passion and expressing it. So that's brilliant.
And I want to reach out to you. I'll email you or something to talk to you about what you're doing with your work in Africa. And I also think that there's a place for you to place your work in the budget that's coming out under the Biden administration, human infrastructure package. And I don't know if you're connected to Stacey Abrams or other passionate
well, I am in Atlanta.
People. I know you are. So I urge you to find your political connection, because you have a whole body of work and practice and effectiveness that I think could be packaged for the human infrastructure model. that's under discussion as we
Thank you,
speak.
honey. Thank you. Yeah, please
Yeah.
let's definitely connect offline. I'm
Good.
definitely I'm all about that. So thank you. That's perfect.
Sure.
Perfect.
Thank you. I'd love to. So
Yes.
yeah, great. Awesome. You know, I'm just always amazed at the energy of the vortex that we create of all the people who show up. You guys are very obviously passionate and wanting to express it even more or understand it more and be way showers. So I want to thank all of you for showing up, and I want to have you do one more thing so anything that's stopping you from expressing yourself uncontrollably, I want to be able to support you in that. So I want you to write down, what's the worst thing that can happen if I express my passion? The worst thing that could happen if I express my passion.
I'll get with you.
So go ahead and just write that down. What's the worst thing that can happen? And then, of course, the flip side to that is, what's the best thing that could happen if I express my passion? What's the best thing that could happen if I express my passion? So does that give you an understanding, perhaps? You want to look at what's the worst thing that could happen. Okay, that could be the reason why you're stuck or you're not moving forward, or I'm sure it all boils down to fear of something, right? It usually will boil down to something like that. And just know whatever you wrote down, that could be stopping you from really shining and standing out. And really, I encourage all of us to really focus more on what you wrote down about the best thing, because that's what you are depriving us of. The best thing that can happen if I express my passion, that's what you're depriving the world of by not showing up, because we don't live in a vacuum. Everything that you vibrate and everything you are and everything that you do and everything you be and everything you think and everything you create, you make a difference. And you matter. So anybody want to share one that they wrote down, what the worst thing, what the best thing is?
This is John Ann again.
Hi, John Ann. Hi.
Hi. So I just wanted to say that the sister who spoke about love, that I believe is really the essential frequency that is the fuel that turns the flame. You talked about did you say the blue flame?
Yep, the blue flame. Yep.
Right. So centering in that pure love is the thing that I believe lights the blue flame, that can burn away all the other stuff, whether it's pathogens or fear or worry or doubt or poverty. So I just want to loop back to that. And then the other thing is, I think it's really important to find a core group of people. We used to talk about a circle of 6, or maybe it's 12, you know, with the spirit is the 13th or something, that one can just keep moving ahead with, agree on purpose, agree on mission, agree on a project or a program or a campaign, and just carry on with it, keep doing it. So the
Perfect.
person who introduced me to you, Burj, is somebody that I believe I have a life mission with. So I just want to acknowledge that.
And she's here. She's
I
on the call.
know. I heard her voice.
She's on the call. Definitely
I know.
having a tribe or having a soul group. And those of you who would like to tune in to some other dimensional kind of fun things that I do as well, which is more of the etheric, I have a group channeling that I do twice a month. If you go to shamanasta.com, and I'll put it in the chat, you can go there and join us and talk to Fifth Dimension and beyond to see some of the tribe, or they talked about tribes and soul groups. And I think that's what you're talking about, bringing, if you're with
Yes.
a group of people of like mind, or people that are all wanting to create unity in the world somehow in this duality world that we live in at times. So, join me on those, because those are really awesome if you're into that kind of thing. I encourage you to come to those, and you get to ask questions, and it's a group, it's really powerful. And you can go to shamanasta.com and look at that. I do them on the second and the last Saturday of every month from 12 to 2 Eastern Standard Time. Also, just go to essenceofbeing.com, you guys. There's a bunch of stuff coming up that we're doing, and just to join us either virtually. This is just a little microcosm of the kind of cool stuff we do, but we get really more into things. But check it out. We're doing an Essence of Leadership virtually. We're doing Essence of Relationships, Essence of Abundance virtually. And then, of course, I'm doing a lot of my graduate work live right now in person. So next month is September 15th will be the next Power Hour. As always, I do it the third Wednesday of every month. Like I said, since October of 2014, I've been doing this. September 15th, we're going to be doing transitions, how to move through change with ease. And I usually try to pick topics of what's going on for people that do private sessions with me, or that are doing workshops with me, that I hear that is seemingly in the in the ethers. So if you're going through a transition, join me on that as well. I'm getting these great things that people are saying. If you go to your chat, thank you for all the things that you're saying in there, and you will get these recording along with the chats that you're putting in there about what you are, your worst thing and your best thing. That's awesome. So really focus on what's the best thing of why should I show up? Why should my blue flame burn bright? And you're right, John Ann, it's either fear or love, right? And right, Gail. So you're either in fear or you're in love, or somewhere in between,
Yeah, exactly. Right. You're like worry.
Yeah. So just be in that moment of, I just encourage all of you to really, really focus on the fact that you make a difference and that you matter and that you're important. And when you feel the lowest of lows and you think, I'm going to go just be isolating because that's what everybody's doing or whatever, just know that, again, your passion is an uncontrollable, unique vibration or awareness to feel who you are and express it comprehensibly. so that other people understand, or that you are basically not afraid to say, here I am. And the more that you demonstrate that, the more we can move towards unity and love, I believe. And that is what we're doing all around the world with our global community. So I just really appreciate all of you on this call tonight. Hopefully you got something out of it. And again, you'll get this recording. But join me at essenceofbeing.com. Just go there and check out the schedule of events. There's a lot of cool stuff we're doing. And a lot of it's virtual. Some of it's not. So you just get to choose, pick and choose, and play with us. Anybody else want to share anything before we go? We're at the top of the hour. Did you get something out of tonight?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Tonight
Yes,
was
ma'am.
good. Tonight was a little more classy. Like I gotta write stuff.
You're
Sometimes-
always a Burge.
I can't help it. I love to teach. It's on my list. That's my passion. Just like you, Arlene. Okay. All right. All right. Be well, my friends. Thank you so much. And you'll look for the recording in your emails, okay?
Thank you,
Oh.
Burge. Love you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Aloha.
Thank you. Thank you.
My pleasure, my purpose, my passion.
Bye-bye, Pinker.